I just finished watching the first 3 episodes of House of David on Amazon Prime Video, and so far, I am really enjoying this show. So, if you haven't watched it, there's going to be some minor spoilers in this review. I think this show is action-packed, it is fast-paced, it has some great cinematography, the musical score is amazing, the cast is fantastic, but what I really love is how this show is doing well what The Chosen does well, which is it gives you that historical context, the biblical context, and then using artistic creative license brings you into this world and explores questions that maybe you never thought to ask. I never thought to ask, who is David's mother? And so I watched these first 3 episodes. And then in episode 3, Samuel rides into town. He says to the elders, like, he wants to worship God with Jesse and his family. And they're like, well, he's not an elder anymore ever since he had an illegitimate kid with that daughter of an enemy. I never thought about it like that. They're making it David's problem. Like, it's his fault. And what kind of weight does that put on a person? So that's really interesting to explore. And now personally, I'm sitting here Googling who is David's mother, and I'm learning things that I never thought I'd learned before, because now I'm asking a question I never thought to ask before. I also love how they show the mother's faithfulness to God and her strong belief in God, and how, she taught David to seek God. She says deep calls to deep. That's one of my favorite scenes right before the whole lion thing, where he's sitting out there in the field and he's trying to quiet himself and listen to God so that God could reveal to him who he is. I thought that was fantastic, but all of that was really laying the groundwork for when Samuel anoints him, so that that moment would be incredibly powerful, because that's where the Lord looks on the inside, and he showed Samuel what was on the inside of David. It was a lion. And I love it because what it shows is God is with the outcast. David is lowly, he's an outcast, and God is going to raise him up to be the king of Israel. Of course, then you have Saul. It was very interesting to see how Samuel came in and prophesied over him how the kingdom would be torn from him, and then immediately that tormenting spirit comes to torment his mind. I thought the depiction of all of that was fantastic, and one of the things that fascinates me most is the giants, because I love studying the Nephilim. Genesis chapter 6, the first several verses, read that, because the Nephilim are there before the flood. They come back after the flood. In fact, the Nephilim, the giants, are in the land of Israel, and this is why they wandered for 40 years, because of the unbelief of the 8 spies who said, the Nephilim are here, and we are but grasshoppers in their eyes and in our own. That's like how big they are. So seeing Goliath and his brothers depicted as that big, they dropped the Genesis chapter 6 verse, which I'm really hoping this means there's going to be a deeper exploration of that as this show unravels. So I'm hooked. If you saw it, what did you think? Let's talk about it in the comments.